think like 100 bob or 150, like that cheap. At 8 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I think this is the time someone proposes. Oh, and guess what? That was it. He never proposed. Like, I don't know, the ring kneeling down, or so he was like, okay. How can you be there without money? And why do you have this small phone? Hi guys, welcome to my channel again. It's your girl, Joyce, Kitty, Mama Hailey. Oh no, 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 no. Please don't call me that. To be honest, I don't like being called Mama. Mama Hailey, Mama. I don't know Mama who. It sounds odd. It's not sexy, and you know, this thing of making us odd. No, Mama Hailey doesn't work out for me. I don't like it. You better call me my name. It's not that I don't like, I'm not proud being a mother. I am. But the part where they call you Mama Bo, blah, 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 Mama. Anyway, so I've decided to share my story of where I grew up from and why I call myself an East African girl. So remember, I'm Rwandese, proudly Rwandese. I was born in Uganda. I'm married to a Kenyan. Very soon, in the next 3 years, I'll be a Kenyan. So I've been thinking I need to do something in Tanzania. I don't know what, because I need to complete the circle of being an East African. Kindly give me ideas on what I can do to become a Tanzanian. Because now this thing, I'm all over East Africa. So, I want to share my silly, funny story of how I end up, being born in Uganda. I'm Rwandese. So you all know, in Rwanda, like long time before the 1994 genocide, before that, there was a silent killing of Tutsi in Rwanda before the 1994. So our parents started migrating. That includes my mom, my dad, they didn't even know each other. So they moved. They went to Uganda. So they met in Uganda. Did a wedding there. And yes, so all of us, we were born in Uganda. All of us. And actually, I have so many sisters in Uganda who are married to Ugandans. Like, they became Ugandans. But again, I have so many siblings who are back in Rwanda. For your information, my family is very big. Very big. I would say I'm the last born, depending where. On my mom's side, I'm the last born. On my daddy's side, I have a baby brother. So, I'm a big sister. Imagine. So, my parents met in Uganda, had a wedding there, and we were all born there. So, after the genocide in 1994, my mom and dad separated, divorced. So, my mom decided to stay in Uganda. But now it was a bit dramatic. So, remember, I was the last born between them, and they decided that, I should stay in Uganda with one of the daughters, because now they could not agree who is taking me, blah, blah, blah. So my dad wanted to come back to Rwanda, and my mom wanted to stay. And remember, they had separated. So it didn't make sense for all of them to come back. It doesn't mean they didn't have relatives. Like my mom, she has so many relatives, or she had so many relatives. I think she has like one more relative. She has. So my mom stayed in Uganda, my dad came back to Rwanda. So all the kids that were staying with my dad, they moved back to Rwanda. So being the last born and being one of the reasons why they separated, I would say, so my sister took me in when I was 1 year. My sister who was married, my favorite sister. So she took me in. So that means I I stayed with my sister, and my dad moved to Rwanda. My mom stayed with her brother. So, like, we were divided into two. Half of the family, the siblings, went back to Rwanda. Half of the siblings stayed in Uganda. Those who are mature enough, who are married or big working, they stayed in Uganda. Those who are young by then, they went back to Rwanda with my dad. So in my family, when you see us, we are two different groups. So there's that group that is typical Rwandese, and there's that group that is, I would say, updated. Okay, more of Ugandan, I would say. They are more of Ugandan. So, like, when you see us, sometimes you may be like confused because some of them speak French, others speak English. So it's like we are two different people, but that's what genocide did to our families. Because if it wasn't for the genocide, I'm sure my parents would have met in Rwanda, and would have all stayed in Rwanda than being in Uganda. And when you look at us, those who stayed in Uganda actually have Ugandan names than those who moved back to Rwanda. So I stayed with my sister from the time I was 1 year growing up, and this was a lady who loved me so much, so much, because she didn't have her own kids. And I remember my sister treated me like a princess, and I was super stubborn. Most of the times when I see my daughter Hailey torturing me, I just see me and I'm like, okay, I think God wanted to show me what I used to do, because she has all my bad characters. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's scary, if you know what I'm trying to say. But I enjoy it because it kind of reminds me of me. So I was so stubborn. I remember there's this one story. I don't know if I should share it. Okay. I was so stubborn, and I think I was so careless, because when I was in primary, I remember my first school was, because like, I don't remember all the places we lived in when I was still young, but I remember like from my first place that I remember very well is it's called Namlanda. So we lived in Namlanda, that is Uganda. I think it's called Entebbe Road. So I remember going to my first school, which was called Kennedy. Those who know Namlanda, you know Kennedy School. Now it's kind of a big school. By that time, I think we were the first people in that school. Like, my generation were the first people in that school, because we started when it was just like a small building. So the headmistress that time, actually the owner of the school, was also the headmistress. She loved me so much, but remember, I was super stubborn. I remember going to school one day, and I didn't like school. I didn't like school at all. So I remember going to school one day. My sister had given me school fees. Like, there's a way they used to do this thing. I don't know why they used to trust kids so much. They would get school fees, put it in an envelope, put it in your bag, and they tell you, the moment you reach at school, give it to your teacher or take it to the bursar. Like, I was young. I don't remember how old I was, but I was young. So she would give me money to take to school. And remember, I didn't like school. So I would get that money. Instead of taking it to school, I would just go, put it under my mattress, and keep quiet. So they're asking for school. They keep on, at school, they're asking for school fees. They keep on asking me that you tell your parents to send school fees, or you'll be chased from doing exams. And then, silly me, I would go back home and tell my sister, oh, I'm told if you don't pay school fees, da 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 da. My sister was like, but I gave you school fees the other day. You didn't take the money? And I'm like, where did you put the money? Under the bed. So she realized giving me school fees was a bad idea. So she used to go with me on the door paying school fees and pay it for me. Which I still don't understand why she used to send me with money. With money. But anyway, I think that time that was the normal, it was normal for them. I don't know. So I was so stubborn. I could not even take school fees to school. And then there's this one habit that I used to do. So we would go, you know, this thing of PE. So that time, PE, they used to tell us to remove our uniforms and stay in panties or knickers. Yo, girl, I don't know what was wrong with me because I used to lose my knickers almost every day. And not losing them at school, at home. So I would go to the washroom and remove it, get it, put it here on my chest. And remember, because we had this, so I'll go to the toilet, I remove my knicker, I put it here on my chest, then I squat on the toilet. So standing up after doing my business, it used to fall in the toilet all the time, like all the knickers, like every time I go to the toilet, I would lose a knicker, every time. So I reached a point, because they used to beat me a lot. I have a sister who used to beat me almost every day. And I remember my big sister, because they're all big sisters, but the one who was raising me and that other sister, they used to fight, because this one used to beat me a lot and this one never wanted anyone to touch me. So they would fight a lot because of me. So back to the toilet thing, I would lose my knickers in the toilet every day. So I reached a point, because I was so scared to be beaten, and I don't have any knicker. So remember, we have PE at school. So I would go to school without a knicker. Without a knicker. So they tell us, okay, it's PE, remove your uniform, stand up, put them here. And then me, I'm like, no, I'm not removing. Why? I can't say, why? I can't say, you don't have a knicker? No, I'm like, oh no. Okay, first time it happened, second time, third time, they wrote a letter. Oh, please buy knickers for her, blah, blah, blah. And my sister was like, but we bought, like, when it used to come to my big sister, I'll tell her anything openly without, because for her, she never used to beat me. But when it comes to this other one, my goodness, I think that's why I kept on like messing up. So my sister would tell me, you don't have any knickers, what happened? I would tell her. Then she goes, buys more. Like that. Then one time, this other sister found out that I don't have knickers. And my big sister was not around. Oh, I was beaten. And then she told me, you have to look for them. Because I think at some point I didn't tell her that, they all fell in the toilet. So she told me, you have to look for them. So I knew where they were and I couldn't get them. But because I'm scared to be beaten, I promised, I think, that I'll get them. So she told me, make sure you get them. I remember that day, she went with me at home to ask them why they are not buying knickers for me. Because for them, they thought they are not buying knickers for me. So she had to go there with me and ask. I remember even the principal, the headmistress, that is the owner of the school, one time she took me and bought knickers for me. And I had this thing that I was so loved by everyone around me. At some point, like, people just felt, oh, it's okay, let me just buy for her, it's okay. Yes, that kind of. So I was a mess, but that became a problem. My sister had like to supervise almost every day to make sure that I go wearing a knicker. And with time, I think I moved on. I I learned how to keep them, because I remember my sister, there's a time she kept on like going with, whenever I would say like I want to go to the toilet, she would go with me and tell me, move your knicker, put it there, go do your things, you come back. Yeah, I think that's how I managed to save knickers going forward. So because I was stubborn, I kept on changing schools, like changing schools. And now, when I was like, I think 10 years, 9 years, I changed school to St. Teresa in Entebbe. It's near Children's Park. Near Children's Park. Those who know Entebbe, you know Children's Park. That was my place. Now, remember I'm stubborn. I was stubborn. So I would go. Now that time we were living in Avaita Babiri. So I would take a taxi in the morning from Avaita to Entebbe. Now, I had my uncle living across the Children's Park. So I would go from home. Instead of going to school direct, I stop at Children's Park, eat my breakfast, enjoy the morning until lunchtime. Lunchtime, because I used to have my lunch at my uncle's, who was just across. Lunchtime, I would go to my uncle's, I have lunch. Then they tell me, go back to school before you're late. I go back to Children's Park. And then at some point, I used to be among the last 15 people in class because I never used to attend classes. So I tortured my sister growing up. And I think because she was too soft on me, you know, like this kind of a person who really loved you. Like you could, you know, kids have this habit of knowing who really loves them so much, or knowing our weaknesses, and then they use them against us. So I knew for sure that my sister would do anything for me, because I remember being among the last 15 people in class almost every term. And then I would bring my report, and then my sister's like, any change? That is, are you at least above, you know, the last 15 kids, students in class? Because it was so, it had become, it became a normal thing, me being among the last people. And my sister, she didn't know what to do with me, because she didn't want to upset me. She didn't want to beat me. Like, she was just soft. Then she would ask me, is there any change? And I'm like, no. Like, okay, go keep. And then end of the year, they changed school for me, because now she didn't want me to repeat. I got to another school like that until I reached P4. P4. Yes. So when I reached P4, third term, I kind of changed a little bit. I started focusing. So and that time, of course, I was in another school. And that is, for those who know still, I'm an Entebbe girl. Entebbe girl. For those who know this place called Nsamis, Adik Mountain, still in Entebbe. So I went there for, I think, for 2 years or 1 year. So there, I kind of improved a little bit. I don't know how. I kind of improved. Then P5, my sister, when I was in P5 first term, my sister was one of my other sister, the one who used to beat me a lot, was dating someone, a university guy. So my big sister, the one who was raising me now, really liked this guy. So she told him, you know what, because you're a student, whenever you come back from school in the evening, or especially you eat dinner, then you go, you don't need to be cooking, because he was a good guy. So he would pass by home, eat dinner with us, and then he goes back to his hostel, because the hostels were near our place. So even now, he's still a good guy. I've not seen him in a while, but he changed my life. So one time he came, he noticed my sister, like, was not bothered me being among the last in class. So he was so disappointed. He told my sister, you know what, going forward, whenever I come here, I want to be revising with this girl. You cannot, like, take things lightly. She's growing up, and if you continue like this, you're spoiling her future. So my sister was like, oh, okay. So he would come. Now that is when I was in P5. He would come. We revised together because remember he was in campus. We revised together. He really pushed me. From P5, I started improving. And then after, when he was done with the campus, he had to go. That was like after 2 years. That is senior 5, senior 6. So when he was done, he had to go back home. That was in Mukono. So he told my sister, now I'm so scared if I leave this girl behind, she's going to go backwards. And she had improved. So how about I take her, study with my siblings, so that she doesn't, go back. Like my sister was like, oh, okay. So because he was a good Christian, a good guy, my sister trusted him. So I went to be with them, and I remember I went to Mukono East, Mukono West, I don't remember. There are those two schools in Mukono. I don't know if they are still there, but one of them, I went there for my P7 first term. Then as we were there, I'll never forget this. As we were there, because remember they were so Christian. Up to now, I think they still have a church. Good people, perfect people. So as we were there, one of his family friends, I don't know how they knew each other, he comes, tells him, oh, what was his name? What was his name? I don't remember his name, my goodness. So he came, told, now this, let's give him a name. Let's say he's John. Let's call him John. The ex-boyfriend now to my sister, because that time they had separated. So his friend comes, tells John that, oh, there's this school in Masaka for Bazungu. They've opened a big school on a high standard. It has everything. Kids eat so well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to be the headmaster. So I want to take your siblings. Now, this guy came in a picture of like a pastor, not really pastor, but born again person. So John, remember we gave him a name, John. So John trusted him because, like one thing I've learned, when someone comes in the name of a Christian, we tend to trust them so much. Like, we tend to trust them so much. I think it's a bad thing, but again, I think we suppose that they are supposed to be good people, but again, so let's call this person a pastor because he was so much like almost a pastor. So he comes, tells John that, oh, give me the kids. The school fees is not so high because the first students, they are going to give them a discount. So, and this school is really good. It's on a good standard, blah, 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 blah. Oh, John was so convinced. Guess what? Me, his two brothers, we were sent to that school. And now this guy, the pastor, was so smart. He told him, you don't need even to drop them. I'll come pick them myself and take them there. Like, we are making things easier for parents. We don't want to torture them. I'll be doing the work for you. And even don't worry, you can visit anytime. They can come home anytime because it's fine, Masaka, da 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 da. So, John accepted. I remember he told me to go back home, say bye to them because he had talked to my sister. My sister was on board. So, of course, we are going to Masaka in Bazungu's school that was new. But we didn't want to go. We didn't want to go. First of all, from day one, I don't like village. Anything called village, it's not my thing at all. I don't care how it looks like, as long as it's village, no. So me, I was like, no, I don't want to go. But again, I was a kid. I didn't have power of saying no. Even his brothers, they didn't want to go. But again, we were kids. So we went. The guy came, picked us. We went, I remember going, of course, I went home to say bye. You know, we packed things, da 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 da. As you're going, as you know, people are going to boarding schools, the shopping you do, everything. So we went. This guy took us. And guess what? You know, he said he was coming to pick us. Yes. So everyone expected him to come with a car, maybe a school car or his personal car, like something private and personal. And guess what? We used the taxis, the, how do they call them in Uganda? The normal taxis in Uganda. Yes, we used those taxis going to school. And for your information, Johnny's family, they were doing well. They are doing well even now. They are kids from a rich family, so if they wanted to have a private car to take them to school, it was so easy. But this guy convinced them that, you know, he's taking us, and they expected, you know, the journey to be smooth, the way you take kids to school, you know, with a private car, blah, blah, blah. At least on their standard. So we used the taxi, the normal taxi, the zino taxis are Uganda, like, it's a yellow. So we used those taxis. We went to school. Remember, he convinced John how the school was well done, new, beautiful. Say it's for Bazungu. Guess what? I remember we reached there in the evening, and reaching at school, I started crying. So the school was this building, one building. It had like maybe 5 classes, without windows, without door. You know those village schools, like where they put a structure without cement, without, it's just a structure that is not plastered, that is, it has no windows, it has no doors. Yes. So we looked at the school, and me, I started crying. And then I remember finding other kids there who went there before us, like 2 weeks before us. For them, they had gotten used to the place. They were like, we are here, we can't go back. And remember, it's Masaka, and you're a kid, you can't take yourself back home. That is Mukono. So we reached there, and I saw other kids. I remember that it was in the evening, and these kids were eating posho with nuts, kaunga nebinyebwa. Like the other binyebwa, ebyamazi, like you get 1 kg of binyebwa and put a whole jerrycan of water. That's what they were eating, and posho. So I reached there, I see these kids eating that, and I'm like, I'm not eating that. So I started slaying, like, oh, this is not what they promised us. Oh, this is not the school you told us. And they were looking at me like, you, okay. So I started complaining that I'm not eating. Who eats posho and nuts, like water nuts? Who eats that? No, I refused. And one of the girls, my sweet girls, Janet, she is called Janet. She's still there. Hi, Janet. So Janet was like, my dear, I advise you eat and keep quiet, because this guy is very dangerous. And I'm like, oh, no, I have the right to tell my people I cannot eat this. This is not what they promised us. Oh, la, 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 la. And Janet was like, Joyce, please calm down and eat. You see this guy, the way he's smiling? Oh, he can change in a second. I didn't believe Janet. I complained, I slayed, and the guy was so patient with me. I'm very sure he was dying inside. And other people were cool. It's not that they wanted it, but again, they knew how to manage, you know, their reactions. Me, I was like, no, I'm not eating that. Oh, this is not what they promised us. La, la, la. So they tell us, okay, you guys finish eating, then we go to the dormitory. So they ate. I refused to eat. We went to the dormitory. Guess what? So the dormitory was just a normal house, a village house. Still, a normal house that had 2 bedrooms, a sitting room, and a dining. So this house is not plastered. They had just done the cement. There are no beds, nothing. It doesn't look like a dormitory at all. So when we reached there, I noticed we found these people who have been here for 2 weeks. They had put their mattresses down because there were no beds. And they told us to put our mattresses down. Where? In the dining, in the sitting room. Because one of the room, I think it was an office or a kitchen, one of the two. Then the other room was the room for the matron, who at the end of the day was the pastor's girlfriend. Yes, pastor's girlfriend. So we stayed there in that dormitory with our mattresses down and our bags, suitcases at the end of the mattress. And we were like 12 to 15 people, girls. Even boys had their own place far from there. So for the girls, I think we were 12 or 15, because there were others from Mukono and others from Masaka. So we're like, I think maximum 15. So the guy, because now it was at night, the guy tells us, now, this is your life, get used. Tomorrow we are starting classes. And yeah, I don't expect anyone to complain. Oh, I was like, no, I need to have a plan B. I need to find a way of getting away from this place. There's no way I can stay in this lifestyle. There's no way I can stay in this place where you put your mattress down. The school has no windows. La 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 la. Like, I was just complaining. So I started planning how I'm going to run away. I don't know, for some reason why everyone was so calm. Me, I couldn't take it. So now I became so close to Janet, of course with other ladies, other girls, but Janet was so close to me. I think because she's Randis also, we became tight. And for your information, that's when I learned to take care of myself, like taking care of myself. So Janet became like my big sister. She was not even old, but I think she was like older than me, like 1 year. But she took the responsibility of being my big sister. And we started going to school. She was like showing me how to do things, telling me to calm down this guy, because now for them, they had been there for 2 weeks. They knew the real person, like this pastor. They knew how he can react, like what he can do and what he can't do. Me, I was slaying and, acting like I was special. So after 2 weeks, now that is when we started school. After 2 weeks, I'm planning how to run away. After 2 weeks, the day came. I packed one of my small bags. I took a border and I left. I'm going back home. I was so determined, I'm going back home. So this guy was like a superstar in that area, whereby someone saw me on a bike going. He ran, told him, I've seen one of your brown girls. This brown, you have a student who is so brown. I've seen her on a boda with her bag on her back. The guy, I don't know where he got a car. He came chasing me down, chasing me. They caught me because that road was so far. Like, it was far from where we used to stay, or the school, to the main road, which was, I think, Lukaya. It was far. So the guy chased us and he caught us. Oh, he took me back to the hostel, and he was smiling, and I was like, what can he do? Me, I wanted to go home. I'm not a prisoner here. He took me back home, I mean to the hostel. It was in the evening. He caught me at around 4. We got to the dormitory, and everyone was shaking on my behalf. Shaking. We got there. He was like, okay, so what happened, Joyce? My daughter Joyce, what happened? Like, oh, me, you promised this and this. Me, I want to go back home. I'm not a prisoner here. I want to go back home. And he was smiling at me like, no, you have to be patient. At least you have to finish this term. Smiling. Kumbe, he had requested like someone to go get sample good coffee sticks, like canes, like 5 of them. As we are talking, me, I feel like, I have all the right to do what I want because, first of all, he lied, da 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 da. I see one of the girls, she has brought the stick for beating me. The sticks to beat me. Oh, my dear. The guy was like, okay, now, once you're here, you don't go back home until I say so. Once you're here, no one visits until I say so. Once you're here, you do what I want. You say what I want. I was beaten. I was beaten. I was beaten. I remember he used all the sticks to beat me, and they all got spoiled because now he was so good at beating. I was beaten. I remember by the time he was done, like I could not even walk properly. On top of that, he told me, after this, you're going on your second punishment. Tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, I want you to dig from here to there. Now someone they're telling to dig. I don't know how to dig. And I was like, so what am I supposed to do? It was a land full of matoke and cassava. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, you figure it out. And if I find when you've not done what I've told you, we start again. So he left. He told the ladies not to help me. Of course, they were so kind. The moment he left like this, they came, helped me. Of course, by the end of the day, I was done with what he wanted me to do. Of course, I didn't do much because I didn't know. But of course, I had support. So, let me move faster. So we lived in that lifestyle that was so bad, so bad. That's the first time I experienced jiggers. That's the first time I experienced not experienced village life because we have a village in Rwanda. But that was the first time like I experienced most of the things because in my village, of course, being like you're at home and they know, oh, you grew up in town, they don't put pressure on you. They don't tell you to go in the farm and do something. You only do what you want. So he, at that school, would go, this guy would go buy food in someone's farm. And then on a Saturday, we all go and get our food, like direct from the farm. Not ready there waiting for us to carry, no. You dig and get it. If it's cassava, you get it. If it's sweet potato, you get it yourself. You pack, you carry on your head, you bring. That was the lifestyle. Same thing with water. And then we used to cook for ourselves. So we would say, today who is cooking, tomorrow, like that. Okay, we had someone who used to cook, but we used to support. Like this person was alone, so we used to support. My goodness. I remember feeling like I wanted to die. And now this guy had the worst behavior. He would come, after beating you, he would come smiling at you. Oh, my daughter Joyce, my daughter Joyce. And then he comes sit on your bed with other girls around. Then he starts telling you stories. And then he's like, so Joyce, you have some juice. So you give me some juice. So Joyce, so you have some snacks. You give me some snacks. And he used to do that a lot. Like we used to give him our snacks. Remember, he's the headmaster. We used to give him our snacks. He would come. I remember one day, like I hated this guy so much, because he used to come and ask for snacks, and I was like, what? You're our headmaster. But the guy used to come, and then we were there for because we were there for 3 months. He had told our parents not to visit. that, oh, the kids are doing so well, they don't even want to come, because remember we were candidates. So he was like, no, they want to concentrate on school. Oh, they don't want to come back home. Actually, they said maybe just send them some money. And then they send us money, we don't get a single coin. And then he's like, oh, the kids are doing so well, you just write them a letter, they okay. And then he tells us, oh, by the way, I'm going to see your parents, write them a letter. You write a letter. The moment you try telling them, oh, we are living a bad life, da, 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 that letter will never get home. So if you want it to get home, he tells you what you write. Oh, we are living a good life, we don't want to come home. I swear this is a true story. We are living a good life, we don't want to come home, we need to concentrate on school. So we spent 2 terms without going home and without parents visiting us at school, because he would tell them, we don't want distraction. You know, when parents come, they distract kids, and the kids wants to concentrate, you know, they are candidates, da, da, da. They would not visit, they would just send money and write letters. Then one time John said, no, it's been 2 terms, I've never seen these kids, no, let me just surprise them. So he decided to surprise us. He comes, of course, he had done shopping, da da da. He comes, reaching at our dormitory. It was a Saturday. Reaching at our dormitory, he was so disappointed that it was close to end of second term, like 2 weeks before exams. He was so disappointed, but he didn't even show, because now he came. The moment he came like this, I don't know how he used to know. He was told, he came running, panicking. Then he would not give you space to talk with your parents, because he know the moment he gives you space, you're going to say every dirty thing he's been doing. Remember, he used to come and sleep in our dormitory with his girlfriend there. Yes, in our dormitory, because the girlfriend had a room there. The girlfriend was the matron. So when John came to visit us, this guy sat there and would not open up to tell John what was happening at school. Would like, you just see your kids, like they have tears in their eyes, but they can't say anything. You ask them, are you guys okay? Yes. But you can't say anything because you're scared. The moment they leave, you'll be dead. So this John left. Of course, he could see the situation. He saw his brothers, the life they were living. He realized, no. Whatever this guy said, it was not true. Because, of course, it was so obvious with the dormitory, the way it was. He knew that this was a bad thing. So after 2 weeks, he came, picked us. I think he came, picked us. And we never went back there. So we had to go to that Mukono, east or west, I don't remember. But one thing I learned, it was a good experience for a kid, because I learned so many things that I didn't know. But I hated that guy. I think I stopped hating him when I was like a mature woman. We lived a bad life, and the worst part was our parents didn't know what was going on. And they used to send money, and this guy would not buy us a thing. On top of that, he would just come, enjoy our snacks, take, I don't know what, like juice, what, snacks, everything. He would come and say, oh, my daughters, come, all of you, we have stories. Then he would sit, tell stories, and then he's like, oh, Joyce, give me some juice. Oh, Janet, give me some biscuits. Like that. Your headmaster. I don't know. Mister, if you're still there, you tortured us. I'll never forgive you. Okay, I moved on now, but I'll never forget you. And I've never understood why people have to hide behind religions. Like, people hide that they are... Yes, mama. Like, people hide people hide a lot, and and it's so easy for us to trust people because you know, oh, they go to church, oh, they, but behind that, they are different people. They are mean people. Me, I'll never forget that guy. So we left the school, we came back to Mukono, and we did finished our primary there, P7. Yeah, we did so well. Okay, personally, I was in second grade. I don't remember how they used even to calculate it, but I was in second grade, and immediately I moved to Rwanda. So after that, I moved to Rwanda, and the reason why I moved to Rwanda, I got to know this later. So when I was still at home, my sister used to get requests from big men, like mature men, telling my sister, oh, you know, I can pay school fees for your daughter, and then after senior 6, I marry her. Yes, I was a young girl, and men would request my sister to pay my school fees, like as a way of paying my dowry like that, and then they marry me after senior 6. My sister realized now, if I leave this girl here after P6, she will not survive with this man. So my sister called my brother, told him, the moment she's done with school like this, like today, I want her on the next bus tomorrow. Of course, my brother knew why. So I remember finishing school. I came back, that is from Mukono. I came back to Entebbe, and my sister told me, oh, they need you in Rwanda. Your dad needs you in Rwanda. I'm like, huh? So, of course, I was done with school. Like, immediately, I packed a few things and I went to Rwanda without knowing that I'll never come back. So I stayed in Rwanda, and I stayed there. And then my brother told me, now, if I were you, I would settle down because you're not going back to Uganda until you're done with senior 6. And I'm like, why? But I'm a big girl, I can always go back. And my sister is there because my sister was like more of my second mother. And my sister is there. I would just talk to my sister. Kumbe, my sister was the same person behind this entire thing. So I stayed in Rwanda until I was done with senior 6 to go back to Uganda, because apparently men were requesting to have me by the time I'm done with senior 6. So my sister, that's how I left Uganda. And by the time I was coming back, my sister passed away like 2 months before I finished senior 6. I didn't even get a chance to come back, and because she used to tell me like, I need you to study, I need you to be a big person, I need you to be, you know, educated, I need you. Like, she used to encourage me a lot, like she was my everything. And I didn't even get a chance to spoil her, because she did a lot for me. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So she passed away 2 months before I went back to Uganda. And I remember I kept, like, before she passed away, I used to tell her my plans, how I'm going to run away from home. I know how to get documents, so I needed to go spend time with her. And she would tell me, you wait, finish up. And then I would tell her my plans of, you know, running away. And then she would go behind my back and tell my brother, oh, now this time around she's determined. She's planning to go get documents and come. And then I would hear my brother after like a day, like, you know, when I look at you, I can read your mind. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're planning. I know you're planning to run away. But I have so many connections at the border. The moment you run away, they'll catch you, they'll prison you. And then you'll never run away again. And I'm like, how can he know this? Kumbe, my sister, I would share all my plans with my sister, and then my sister tells him. But my sister was trying to protect me. Like, I get it now that, you know, she did everything in her power to protect me so that, you know, I focus on school. Because she knew the moment I go back to Uganda, that was the end of me. So she fought so hard to make sure, like, I study and focus on school. And, you know, I don't come and waste my life in Uganda. So she died 2 months before I finished senior 6. And that was the saddest part. Like, I didn't get a chance to spoil her with everything she did for me. Anyways, I miss her every day, but that's life. So so that's how I end up going back to Rwanda and be with my family in Rwanda. Yeah, and after that I was like, I don't need to go to Uganda. Of course, I used to go back to Uganda so many times, but yeah. So that's my story. Until next time, I'll see you. Share your crazy things you did when you're still young. Bye. Love you. Mwah.